What up, everyone? Doing a quick market update. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I'm also going to be trying to do some more live streams in the future. Now that we're getting out of the FOMO stage of the market, at least what I believe. A lot of things to talk about today. We'll go over, um, try to go over everything. Um, if you want to support me, the streams, this content, these updates for the future, right there, got a partnership with Blowfin. Sign up, deposit a little bit of money, DM me, get lifetime access to VIP Discord. We're a tight community, great traders, great ideas. We were cooking this month, so and this week, but this month and at least on Bitcoin price action. And yeah, we had some great calls over the last couple months, including I did tell people to buy Zcash at $60. Um, also told people to sell at 250. So we'll go over that as well. But again, I feel like it's overdue for a little market update. So let's get started. So first thing I want to talk about here is the weekly. Obviously, everyone and their mom has been talking about the parabolic trend line on Bitcoin. Beautiful parabolic trend line. Um, you not perfect, but pretty perfect. Gotta love this line. It's acting as support, as one would say. Is it support? No, I wouldn't say this is support. This area, maybe a little bit, but either way. But yeah, that doesn't look too bad, right? This candle. So we've got a little Sunday pump action on Bitcoin. Here's how the weekly looks. We're near the highs. And just so you all know, we got the monthly close, which happens here in about 5 days, 6 hours. This is our current monthly candle. Not the worst monthly candle, not the best monthly candle. A pretty indecisive monthly candle, if you ask me. As well as we do have the 2-week close coming today with the weekly close. And I would expect some type of wick fill here. This is a really clean level right here. So maybe we come down to 112, tag a little bit lower than 112, take out some liquidity, maybe just fill that CME gap, and then we take off some more. But 2 weeks a pretty ugly candle, if you ask me. 5 hours left, as well as we do have, and I've been talking about this for a long time, we do have the 2-week pennant that's been going on for a long time, making bearish divergence the entire time. This has been consolidating here. So, and obviously there's plenty of room here, plenty of time still left in this 2-week pennant. So we could be going on, for a while. Maybe boom, maybe fake out, come back down. That would be some type of equal bearish divergence there. I would not be surprised to see that. See one type of one more pump, right? And then come back down. I mean, realistically, fam, you gotta realize this, right? And we'll use this. This is a really good reference to price action, right? This bearish divergence. Get rid of this. Okay. So this is a really good example of what I'm talking about. Let's say the highs aren't in. Let's say there is some type of quote unquote blow off the top, right? From here, when we made this high of about 105K, all right? We made bearish divergence, right? And we went up to, let's just go down to like one of these guys, pretty equal bearish divergence here. We went up to about 120K. So from this point to this point, and this kind of jump pump, this small little pump, we went up about $20,000. We'll just round $15,000-$20,000. Really not that big of strength, but was still able to go up another $20,000. So let's just assume that maybe we come down here, hit sub 100K on the RSI, then we go and make this pump. Like this pump right here could make an equal bearish divergence, right? And go to like 140K easily could happen, as well as, right, would love to see a break, right? And then if we break out of this pretty cleanly, I'd say break over this previous bearish divergence, kind of triple top right here on RSI 2-week. If we were to get a break out of this pennant, I'm going to be bullish. But not just that. I would say that if we break that kind of triple top bearish divergence right here, you can see that we made in this area. This area. If we do break that, I think it's important to realize that we could go right back to these highs, which would take Bitcoin to that hysterical 200K level. And I say hysterical because it's funny to me that people think that we're going to just double this market cap and go to 200K. I think it's a little unrealistic, but anything could happen. This is kind of the play, in my opinion. I think like this is the main thing you want to kind of be watching on long-term charts. This will give you a pretty clear bottom to top signal for some pretty good swings. And I think it's important to pick up Bitcoin possibly here, which it was. So had we looked at this 2-week candle at the bottom of this wick when we went to 104K, 103.6, believe it or not, this RSI was down here past this trend line. So it was bought up. Okay. I have to say I was surprised that we did move up, but it was bought up. I moved up this aggressively, but it was bought up, and now we sit under that monthly open. Still is resistance, and so there's a lot of we're not going to really know. Hate to use the term top, but we're not going to really know if there's like kind of a macro top. I think it's definitely possible that it can be a local top here being made, and we could come chop here a little bit longer, come down here, easily consolidate here, and then make a move higher. I think that's like our best kind of bull scenario. Maybe we don't go this low. Who knows? But obviously, if we take out this area right here, we can start calling it a top. But we are a long ways away from that. So I don't think top is the right term. But where we're going now, still sideways, still a little bit of a range. Could easily go back up to that 118K, which is the top of this 2-week range that we're looking at right now. And that's Bitcoin. Okay, that's Bitcoin in a nutshell. Another thing I do want to show here is the 3-day. We have a nice little, well, we can talk about everything here. But we do have a 3-day kind of possible impending cross here. Just put this here, pull up my volatility chart. So it is should be noted that we do have compression into this 3-day candle, going into a very tight 21 EMA and 50 EMA. You don't know how these work, fam. Usually every time we got like a cross here, you see a dump, right? Cross pump, cross dump, cross, not really a clean cross. See how tight that was, but cross dump right here. Never really cross down here too tight. Just like this was too tight for really a pump. So this is the daily with the 200. That's the 200 moving average. That's the red one. And then we have the 2-day that did cross as well. And, they got looks like they're getting a good push over this 21 EMA. Would love to see that, but I'd be even happier we can get a 2 or 3-day close over 115K. But that would not clear us of the 3-day cross. Now, every time this 3-day does cross, fam, it's pretty big. We're going to see some type of violent dump. Historically speaking, this cross gives us about 20%, depending. At here, about 15%. So we do have a lot of confluence. And as you can see this, right? Here's a 3-day cross. Well, we had lost the 3-day trend for a long time here. believe it or not, with no bullish cross. A total of 385 days. So that was over a year that we didn't have the 3-day trend. So losing the 3-day is pretty significant, I would say. So we'll watch out for that. It's not confirmed yet. We do have compression on volatility. And again, we're kind of just sitting there. This one's 6-day, hit the 50 MA, 5-day, hit that 50 MA. Very clean. Got a day left. So Monday, we have Monday left before see what we're going to have. We got a reverse hammer here. Did miss that. But we weren't really bearish at the lows there, fam. If you were in the VIP Discord, we did long down there, 117K. So we weren't shorting down there. But I did miss this hammer. It's nice seeing this now. It's probably why I should do more of these updates and streams. Just kind of go through each time frame, which I think is really important for anything, any asset. So anyways, we'll go to the kind of the big ones here. Here's Solana. Okay, Solana's got a really clean chart. Oh, no, sorry, this Ethereum. Excuse me. Go to the monthly first. All right. So here's Ethereum. Here's the monthly chart. Looks really clean here at the highs. Right? Really clean. A nice little swing fail. Or we are at the highs. I wouldn't even call it a swing fail because we didn't really wick too far above. But this monthly isn't that great with 5 days, 6 hours left. Go to the 2-week. And alts have been hurting a little bit more than Bitcoin. 2-week, don't love that, right? This is just a 2-week that's being held. To give you an example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 2 weeks in a row of blood. Technically, this 1, 2, 3. This is a kind of a Darth Maul. This blue candle, this green candle. So this isn't the greatest 2-week for Ethereum. Probably goes lower if we close like this. This is definitely indecisive, ugly looking 2-week. You would like to see that close green in the next 5 hours. Could happen. Weekly is gonna be, again, not really, doesn't mean much. We held the 21 EMA, not the most bearish weekly candle, but that 2-week is kind of foretelling, in my opinion. So this is just kind of a hold candle. We do have Solana. Actually, let's go through them real quick. I think we have some bigger crosses here coming. Yep, that's right. So Ethereum, just so you all know, 2-day cross. 2-day cross hasn't really played out. So the last time the 2-day crossed, right here, boom. See all these wicks? They try to prevent it. Boom. Big move down. This the type of swing volatility you'd be looking for. So what is that? 57% correction after that 2-day cross. Now, don't expect exactly 57% or the same, but easily could come down, and this could still be bullish, in my opinion. Could come down here, boom, consolidate, chop, and get some type of Santa rally, right? That would be the best case scenario. So 2-day cross hasn't really played out. Maybe wick up here, come down here. This looks like one of the better shorts, confirmation shorts, in my opinion, with this 2-day cross. As long as that price action doesn't get above the 50, I'd wait for a wick up. Easily could get a wick up. We'll use the fibs here in a second, but come down here, chop for a little bit, and definitely break those highs. That's kind of what I'd be looking for. I would definitely buy up Ethereum, about between 28 and 32. I think that's a great buy. 28 and 33. I think anything under 34. So this, I could see this would be still a bullish, relatively bullish structure, and it would still hold this area of interest that everyone should be really watching right there, right? Look how clean these wicks is. We call that like a mid-range, I would say. Come down here, test the mid-range at 2,900, and then break those highs for Ethereum. That's like the best case scenario. 2-day for Solana, fighting it today. Actually, let's go back to Ethereum real quick. Let me just check those fibs. So yeah, that could go up to 42, 4,300 maybe. I'd look for I think we could definitely wick up here on Ethereum, take some more liquidity, about 43, 4,400. That would be a deviation back up into range and then come back down. Might not happen, but something like that. 42, 43. Definitely have to close some 2-day candles above this 4,200 before I'm getting really, really bullish on Ethereum. But again, I would like to see that first play that we talk about where we kind of wick up here, test 2-day cross, and then clean it out because this 2-day cross hasn't really happened. Solana, okay, testing that 2-day, holding it tight. So this probably doesn't cross. If we close it like this, a little bit higher by tomorrow, we'll have to see what the Monday brings. Little rising wedge, swing fail pattern out of that rising wedge. Yeah, that was here. But could Solana, same thing, could make a move up to maybe 220, hit that golden pocket, and then retrace more. 2-day, too tight for me to love it. 3-day, just consolidating between the 3 days. So still a little bit distributive. If you ask me, distributive characteristics, excuse me. Um, uh, let's talk about our infamous Zcash. Zcash, really interesting one. Came up here, hit these highs. Try to fibs here. Um, would like to see this pull back a little bit. So it did have like a really clean 3-day move. Show you here. Get rid of some drawing. Did have a really nice 3-day move. So this is kind of why I was bullish yesterday at the 3-day close. Now we're about halfway through 3 days, but they had this 3-day that turned green, preventing bearish divergence really here. So they kind of had a little continuation candle. Not gonna lie, I totally misplayed this. Really disappointing. But you know, you move on, you learn from your lessons. And right now, I would just say that this isn't a great area to long, not a great area to buy, but we could continue. Now, if the monthly candle closes anything like it looks now, um, I would be pretty bullish for the most part. Has good potential to be an SFP. If we came down and returned all the way back down here to 75, could easily do that. I mean, if you look at this, we have clear retests of resistance support, but also, right, could easily pick up support here, take off. The more bearish one would be support here, take off. Now, with all the things that are going on in the world, fam, tariffs, inflation, job data, government shutdown, I think it's important to realize that the market goes up and down, and the market can go up and down. So I'm not too I'm optimistic that we can continue going up, but there is the 4-year cycle. Go over that. There is the 4-year cycle we need to be paying attention to the day. It was October 6th. Had that dump. Could continue. Could be a fake out. I don't know. You know, with the ETFs and all the other instruments that are taking advantage of crypto now. The current administration is pro crypto. There's a lot of things that suggest that we could have a longer cycle like this. Got 184 days there. I guess it wouldn't be a longer cycle, but some longer super cycle. But for the 4-year cycle suggests that we are running out of time, or we have ran out of time. 1,064 days, 1,064 days, 1,064 days, and then I mean, you know, I don't know if you need any more confluence than that. We've had three cycles that have topped at 1,064 days. So the time thing isn't really favor the bulls. I'm not a fan of yelling, "Hey, the 4-year cycle is broken," until you really know the 4-year cycle is broken. So for now, I think we should be still maybe a little optimistic, but definitely cautious. I would be looking for shorts after this weekly candle that's coming in. Definitely the monthly candle is going to be a big one, but they have anything close to a spinning top on that monthly candle. I'm not really bullish, and neither should you. It just means that we can wake up first before we come down. And so kind of going back to Zcash, you can compare this one to maybe a Litecoin or an XRP. So here's the weekly on Zcash. Really great looking chart. We had taken these highs for years, right? 3-4 years. We haven't taken these highs at least. But if you look at like XRP, has a very similar chart here, fam, and not the greatest chart. Although you gotta love this weekly candle. I think the weekly looks really good here. That wick down looks really, really good. I can't believe people filled 2 weeks there. Is this Coinbase? Bitstamp. Can't believe people filled bids there at a $1.60. Weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks, all right. Still can't believe that wick just get filled. And this is actually a really clean chart. I didn't realize this. But XRP, I mean, this is a really clean chart for XRP. Holding that 2-week level for now. I would call this a little bit more distributive. It is it's just sideways chop. It's type of it's going to be accumulation or distributive, but we are working our way sideways. More or less a higher high and a higher low, right? Here, I would say, even though that wick, should ignore the wicks when you're kind of structure. So this isn't the worst, but if you're gonna ape into a bunch of XRP spot, I'd definitely wait till we get a 2-week break of, I think, getting back above 295 is the level. You can see that's a really clean, really, really, really clean level right here. So XRP doesn't look too bad on the 2-week. Not gonna lie, but as far as I'm concerned, this is the highs. So going back to Zcash, right? I would expect some type of similar thing with Zcash. So don't ape in here. Don't FOMO here. I'm a little disappointed I didn't wait a little bit longer with my bag, but I'd love to buy back in, get something like this. Bar pattern. It's called. Use a little bit of a fractal copying here. So maybe we get something like this, right? It's exactly what XRP did. And then whatever XRP does. So if XRP continues these kind of higher lows and higher highs kind of pattern, maybe Zcash follows that. But right now, Zcash should be in the cool down area, in my opinion. So I wouldn't FOMO up here. When I'd love to see a retest of 275, 300 even, chop down there. Something very similar to XRP. This, I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of. I'm really glad I'm looking at these things. This 2-week on XRP is crazy. Really, really clean level. I'm gonna have to post this one on Twitter. I gotta be proud of this find. Just don't think people look hard enough. It's just such a clean level. Oh my god. Such clean. And the 2-week doesn't look bad. This 2-week looks a lot better than Bitcoin. Bitcoin's got like a hanging man. Unless it saves it. Could save it. but it kind of has a hanging man, which means, right, like Bitcoin can pull back, XRP holds, breaks the highs. Let's not forget, not every coin has not broken the highs, previous highs. BNB has made new highs. The CZ coin. God, where have I been? Where have I been? Actually, I just love this chart right. Oh my God. It's just such a clean consolidation at the 2-week level. Just wow. Just wow. Um, but distributive so far. This is still distributive in my opinion. I don't love that this wick wasn't filled out more. We would just like to see this wick filled out more. Don't love that. Makes me think it's a little bit more of a bull trap here. I would like to see some, come down here, chop for a bit. I think worst case scenario, right? If you're going to break the highs, that'd be the worst case scenario. If you're going to break the highs, otherwise we go back into the bear market. Could go as low as 76 cents. Not gonna lie, XRP. So fill out the wick a little bit, make me happy, make me more bullish on this. But other than that, we're just kind of consolidating, holding that 2-week level. Very clean chart though on XRP. Very, very clean chart, fam. This is, I mean, just such a beautiful chart. Let's talk about the dollar. Let's go to actually BNB first. The CZ shitcoin. Here we go. 2-week, not the greatest. 2-week, in my opinion. This is a really clean chart as well. And this. Although this isn't the worst chart. This just isn't the greatest chart. Held that level. Whoa. Oh, I see what I did here. Hold on a second. Wrong chart. Wrong chart. Beat. This chart's been on the grind, fam. Monthly, not the worst, right? Would love to see kind of some type of middle above average here. Body. So like where it is now, maybe end a little bit higher. I'd be a little bit more bullish if it ended about like 1150 on BNB. But this one made new highs. Pretty ugly wick though for right now. BNB was listed on Coinbase in U.S. markets. I'm not sure if you guys know that. But BNB was listed in U.S. markets. So, but it hasn't really pumped since then. It's holding the daily trend. So here's the daily. Kind of trappy here, fam. It's getting pretty tight, but has a potential move to fill this out a little bit more. So maybe we're making some type of giant pennant to distribute. So it can kind of come up here and then come down here and then come right here. Very similar to what Bitcoin's made. It had a little bit of a pennant down here and it's broken out of that. Kind of the pennant. The daily broke out of that. So it's BNB. And then let's check out the dollar. Okay, so let's go back to Bitcoin real quick. The 3-day here. All right, 3-day cross, right? Potential 3-day cross. Low volatility, which means it's being absorbed, which means we're pumping into asks, fam. Okay, there's people asking for a certain amount of money to buy their Bitcoin. Okay, so it's pumping into asks right now, and low volatility. Don't love that on the 3-day. And then we have the dollar, right, which is just literally identical here, fam. This thing is identical. The 3-day, cross coming. This would send it to the 200 easily. So that's like a 102. Come back up here, test this. At least 101. This would send Bitcoin down to that 94K level, maybe 88K. If we got some type of pump. So May 9th. Okay, let's check out where Bitcoin was on May 9th. 9th. So right about here. So could go down to that, yeah, 101K. 100K. That'd be perfect confluence right there. Come back down to 100K. 3-day crosses. Again, get a wick above there, maybe. 3-day crosses come down to 100K. And that'd be confluence with the DXY pump that I see coming. 3-day cross, bullish. 3-day cross, bearish on Bitcoin. That's kind of where I'm looking. I think that'd be a great buying opportunity. Even if it's a dead cat bounce, fam. 10-15% swing on spot. Even if I can catch some of those trades with a little leverage. I mean, if we're talking Solana, Zcash, some of these very volatile coins, that's going to be a big move. So I think there's a lot of volatility coming up. That's a good thing. Not calling really a top here. But I think it's something to say that, like, we have a really, really ugly 4-week close. A lot of people didn't see that. And right now, with 14 days left, right, this is not an area I'm telling people, hey, you should go buy some Bitcoin, right? We got 14 days left in this 4-week candle. Okay. Previous 4-week candle was bearish, came down, wicked down until we turned green. That 116, 193. I would say, like, until we kind of clear that out and we could go up to 118K. Unless this closes green, I'm not gonna be telling many people that's bullish. I think there's plenty of time to close this monthly out, kind of looking okay. And then that's 7 days left, 5 days left, excuse me. And then the extra 12 days, boom, dump. 98, come down here, 92K. That's good support there on the 4-week candle. So it's important to zoom out, fam. Got plenty of room to still be bullish. But I don't think it's good to be bullish here. I think the ultimate short is really 118K. We can get 118K, golden pocket of Bitcoin, take that down to 100K, finally fill out that wick, pull back a lot of coins to those levels I was telling you about. And then let's say if those coins pull back like XRP and it closes below that 2-week level, then we even have more than likely confirmation that this is the top. At least for like coins like XRP, we got a huge pullback and BNB were to return to its previous highs, under 700, I'd say. Then we really know it's a top. There's a lot of coins you can have confluence with. I'll tell you the top. Solana's in a really clean range. You can just continue to play that range right here. Yeah, there's, again, we have time. Let's be optimistic. Still be cautious. Lots of bearish variables. We have elections coming up. We got U.S. elections coming up. We have, which are super important, fam. Go out and vote if you're American. We have a rate decision. So there's a lot of things coming up, fam. All right, so we'll keep playing the charts. Again, I'm going to throw it up there one more time. You want to support me? Go sign up on my Blowfin. Come up. And yeah. Oh, I know why. Yeah. Anyways, fam, mad love. Appreciate you. And I'll try to get a live stream sometimes in the near future. All right.